Hello, my name is David Hill, and I want to thank you for coming in for Parents' Night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be with you tonight because I had a previous engagement scheduled. So in concert with the kids, we made a video last week of some of the things that we're doing in class, and we thought we'd share that with you in lieu of my presence with you this evening. Right now, the kids are having, I hope, a good time studying the American Dream. We've started with kind of the history of the dream, going back hundreds of years ago and looking at Tocqueville and other observers of American society in the infancy of the country. We've also looked at works of literature and art and poetry throughout the last 250 years as well. Right now, we are doing some short stories. We're about to start with Death of a Salesman, but last week the kids read an F. Scott Fitzgerald story called Winter Dreams with some ties to Great Gatsby, and the discussion that you're about to listen in on is related to Winter Dreams by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Thank you.
This is making me feel so awkward.
Well, the winter, like he said, like when he crossed the hills, the wind was colder in winter, while he compared fall, that like October's in fall, and he said like October fills with both. So, but this is
Yeah. You won't even notice it in a second.
And then it says that hope.
It's actually for Parents' Night.
You're gonna show this to
I'm gonna show them some clips of things in Parents' Night. Yeah.
Hey, Mom. Just kidding. This is so awkward. I don't
My like her feelings change with the seasons, and like during the winter time, her heart's cold and she like changes through guys like that, and then he's always trying to like find and reason to himself like why she's such a good girl, but in reality she's not.
Does everyone agree that winter is the worst season?
yeah.
No.
Max said pretty clearly winter is the worst season of the year.
Well, we usually like relate winter to like coldness and like usually when you think of winter, you kind of think of
It's like dark and long.
that.
It never ends.
Yeah.
It's like the longest.
His mom was a bohemian of the peasant class, and she had talked broken English to the end of her days. I don't think Jade, if you're actually wondering. And so like he didn't like his mother.
And he's got a good like work ethic in what he does. The guy says, "The best caddy I ever saw," shouted Mr. Jones. "Never lost a ball. Willing, intelligent, quiet, honest, and grateful." Even though he quits, it says something about his like character.
Like if you were to like relate like Dexter's background to like an American Dream, like he wasn't like handed an American Dream like easily, but he wasn't like not able to go to school, and he wasn't like poor, so he was like able to fulfill if he had a dream.
I looked at him quitting his job as something other than like him being like a good background, I guess. I looked at it as more like he acts off impulse, so like he got like kind of frustrated with the nurse and the treaty, so he kind of just like exploded. It was like, "I quit," and then the guy was like, "You can't just quit," and he's like, "Well, I am." So I thought it was like it kind of made him out to be more of a quitter almost, but not overwhelming. He just like hinted at it.
I think before they even came, he kind of wanted to quit his job because he's like, "I'm too old to be a caddy." And then the guy was like, "Oh, lost the best caddy you ever had."
Yeah.
And then that thing that happened between the nurse and, Julie, I want to call her Julie, like with the golf club, just kind of pushed him over the edge, and then he finally was just like, "I quit," and he said quit. Maybe he didn't want her to know that he was a caddy.
Well, you kind of told her. Is Julie obviously like wealthy?
Julie, yeah.
Yeah.
He has a nurse.
He has a nurse to walk her
Yeah,
around.
he's a caddy, and caddies barely make anything, and he wants to impress Judy, so he quit to get her job.
But he's the highest paid caddy. He makes like $30. I thought that's a lot
Yeah,
a
but
year.
still,
man.
he has to walk around caddy. That's real, like, it's a low.
I think he just thought he could do better.
Well, he knew he could do better, and that's why he left and he did what he did. But
Does that not make more sense?
I think I agree with Steph. It wasn't. He wanted to quit for a while, just the last straw.
You're still basically just like a servant to whatever they need, and you
wants to show her that like he can be a man and be like his own man. Like.
When Dexter later he owns like a bunch of laundries, he seems pretty wealthy.
Yeah, but that's owning a chain as opposed to
Something like
a
5
family.
stores.
I don't know.
Yeah, but then at the point it was, I forget who said it, but he would like, he found out how to do the people's socks and then
Yeah,
lingerie,
he was, like,
and
the
then
best
it's
at
like
what he
everyone
does.
was like, do my laundry, do this, and they would pay more for that.
Does
Because
it
he was a
actually
better
say
product.
they're not
Dexter
wealthy?
is someone who like wants to do something and like he becomes the best caddy and then he's really good at doing socks. Like he decides to do something and then he becomes the best at it.
Hey, just a quick interruption from my fellow Bobcat buddy, Jeff Gitlin. Parents' night's almost over, just a couple more minutes of the video, and you can go home and check out the second half of the Ravens game.
Yeah, she was with the guy and then he dropped, she was like, he dropped the bomb and said he's poor, and like, she goes like, I loved him, but not enough to hear that he was poor.
No, I thought
And
it
then
was
she
more like.
automatically asks him if he's poor.
I thought it was more like she was mad that he like didn't start out by like
Yeah.
telling her
She
that he
was
was
more
poor. It was
mad
more
about
like
being honest, I think.
yeah.
She said she fully intended to marry the people. She didn't actually. I think it was like her thing when she's like, I think I love you like tonight.
Like she says she's
Yeah.
fully gonna marry people all the time. Like she's like she just wants like attention for a bit. And I think what really interested Dexter is like he wanted to be the best at everything and he felt like Judy was the best. So like he wanted.
He was good at golf.
It was like this, the little girl who had done read that. Like, oh, even then he kind of talks about her in the same way that she ends up growing. Inexpressibly lovely and bring no end of misery to a great number of men. And, I mean, if you can call that when she's 11, it kind of says something. Like, she's really beautiful, pretty to look at. But you can already tell that she's just going to screw a bunch of guys over in the end. Like, a lot of guys are going to, like, love her, and she's going to say, I love you too, but then she's just going to go get with someone else the next day.
He wants to try to be like the one guy that she stays with, because that would make him the best out of all the guys she's been with.
Ungodliness and the way her lips twisted down at the corners when she smiled, and the heaven help us in the almost passionate quality of her eyes. Vitality is born early in such women. It was utterly in evidence now, shining through her thin frame, that sort of glow. That's just going off more about how he thinks she's even more beautiful than before.
Also got a lot of money. I think that plays a pretty big role. I mean, if I was a kid and I had a lot of money, I mean, it's kind of a given. I mean, if I had an undesirable job and I met somebody with a lot of money and they were attractive and like I could deal with them, there's a reason. Like everybody goes for money, and I feel like that's a very big reason.
I think he had this big plan, like, okay, I'm gonna see her 10 years later on the golf course, and then you're gonna suddenly show up on the lake and ask me to dinner. Like he predicted this. It's kind of a slippery slope.
Well, he like had been away for so long that he was new, so Judy was like wanted him because he was new. Like it said later on that like whenever there was a new guy in town, like she'd cancel all her other dates just to be with the new guy, and then there'd be a new guy, and then the old one would go in. It's like she wants to have everyone for like a short amount of time, and then when she can't have them anymore, like when Dexter was engaged, she wanted him again because like she couldn't have him then. Like she wants to always have the power. Like has like control them, like has the guys like always wanting her and like always thinking about her and always dreaming about her.
That's because she puts her body first in everything. Or like I forget where they said it, but like she really accentuates her female like lust and body parts. That's why she thinks to herself that all these men want to be with her.
Just to him.
It's just
The girl that was never reachable, the girl that was kind of always around but seemed above him, the girl that he always wanted to get with. With him being a caddy, like, I mean, I think that's like probably one of the good reasons why he quit was because he saw what she's doing to her nurse, and in her eyes, he's just like her. He's a servant to her, he serves her, he's a caddy. he does the same thing that she does. She's there to serve her, and so is he. So he was like, she's never going to see me in the light that I want her to see me if I'm a caddy.